Killer whales surged through the waves, closing in on a helpless baby whale, their powerful bodies circling with lethal intent. The calf's desperate cries echoed across the ocean as fins sliced closer. But in an astonishing twist, an unexpected savior emerged from the depths. You won't believe who arrived. As the research vessel sliced through the Pacific waters, a rare sight captivated the team of marine biologists aboard. There, amidst the endless blue, a lone baby whale surfaced, its small spout casting a delicate mist into the air. The young calf, unmistakably a blue whale, seemed disoriented, circling slowly as if searching for something or someone. The scientists, initially out to study grey whale migrations, found themselves drawn to this unexpected encounter. "Keep the boat steady," Dr. Lena, the lead biologist, instructed her crew, her eyes fixed on the calf. "Let's get closer, but maintain our distance. We don't want to stress it further." The vessel edged nearer, the team observing quietly. The calf's condition was pitiful. It was too young, likely still dependent on its mother's milk, which was nowhere to be found. As the scientists took notes and whispered among themselves, the reality of the situation began to set in. Without intervention, the calf's chances of survival dimmed with each passing minute. "Could the mother be nearby?" murmured Alex, another biologist, scanning the horizon with binoculars. "Or worse, could something have happened to her?" The group pondered this, knowing the mother's absence was a bad sign in the vast and perilous ocean. They decided to monitor the calf from a safe distance, hoping for a reunion. But as the hours passed, no sign of the mother appeared. The calf's weak calls echoed across the water, a desperate plea for help that seemed to go unanswered. Little did they know, as they documented every movement of the distressed calf, a darker threat was silently converging beneath the waves. The water around the baby whale stirred subtly, hinting at the ominous presence drawing near. As the team watched, the stillness of the scene was abruptly shattered. A black fin sliced through the water's surface, followed by another, and then another. A pod of orcas, skilled predators known for their intelligence and coordination in hunting, had zeroed in on the vulnerable calf. The marine biologists, their mission of observation taking a dire turn, could only look on as the orcas began their assault. The largest of the orcas led the charge, its massive body cutting through the water with terrifying precision. It lunged at the calf, aiming a strategic strike at its tail to cripple its ability to flee. The baby whale thrashed wildly, its pitiful cries peaking in desperation. Around it, the other orcas circled, tightening their formation with each pass, their black and white patterns blurring into a menacing swirl. Dr. Lena grabbed her camera, recording every harrowing detail. "Document everything. We may need to study their tactics later," she instructed, her voice steady despite the unfolding tragedy. Orcas are known for their methodical approach to hunting, often working as a unit to exhaust and isolate their prey before the final kill. Today, their strategy was evident: divide and conquer, with the young whale as their unfortunate target. Each orca took turns to strike, sapping the calf's strength, while others blocked any possible escape. The team felt a helpless fury as they witnessed the assault. "There's nothing we can do to stop them, is there?" Alex asked, a note of despair in his voice. The ethical dilemma of interference weighed heavily on them, but intervening in such a natural process carried its own risks and consequences. Just as the situation reached its most critical point, with the calf visibly weakening and the orcas preparing for a final assault, the unexpected happened. The ocean, previously a battleground of predator and prey, churned violently as new figures emerged from the depths. Huge, dark shapes broke the surface, their arrival as sudden as it was spectacular. A group of humpback whales, imposing and majestic, had entered the fray. The scientists aboard the vessel gasped in astonishment. Humpback whales, generally known for avoiding conflict, were now charging towards the orcas. With powerful flukes and enormous bodies, they disrupted the orcas' coordinated attack, throwing themselves into the battle with a ferocity that belied their gentle reputation. The calf, momentarily forgotten by its attackers, floated exhaustedly as its unlikely rescuers turned the tide. The arrival of the humpback whales shifted the dynamics in an instant. Their enormous bodies slammed into the water near the orcas, creating massive waves that sent spray high into the air. Each collision was like a declaration of war, an unmistakable signal that they were here to protect the calf. As the humpbacks swung their giant tail fins with force enough to disrupt the water itself, the orcas found their rhythm broken, their coordinated assault faltering under the unexpected onslaught. "Look at that!" Dr. Lena exclaimed, her eyes wide with both shock and scientific curiosity as she recorded the scene. "I've read about humpbacks interfering with orca hunts, but seeing it firsthand is something else entirely." The humpbacks, usually peaceful giants, were now guardians in this aquatic confrontation. Their strategy was clear: use their size and strength to outmaneuver the orcas. With each forceful push and swipe of their massive pectoral fins, they managed to scatter the black and white predators, who were unaccustomed to being on the defensive. The humpback's half-ton fins, tools of gentle navigation in other circumstances, became formidable weapons. As the battle ensued, the orcas, usually the apex predators in these waters, began to retreat, their typical confidence overshadowed by the protective ferocity of the humpbacks. The scientists aboard the vessel continued to film and take notes, astounded by the display of interspecies defense. "This is remarkable," Alex said, his voice tinged with reverence. "It's not just about size or power, it's like they genuinely understand the danger the calf is in and have come to its aid." The humpbacks circled the calf, seemingly assuring it was safe for the moment. As the last of the orcas disappeared into the deep, the urgency of the moment gave way to a tense calm. The calf, though exhausted and still without its mother, was no longer alone. The protective circle of humpbacks remained vigilant, their huge bodies a barrier between the calf and any further threats. Yet, despite the retreat of the orcas, the calf's ordeal was not over. It was still a baby, lost and vulnerable in the vast ocean, its survival uncertain without the care it needed. The scientists watched as the humpbacks seemed to recognize this too, their next actions crucial to the calf's fate. With the immediate threat of the orcas gone, one of the humpback whales, a large female, assumed the role of protector. She swam close to the baby whale, her massive body a comforting presence against the vastness of the ocean. The team observed as she gently nudged the calf, encouraging it to move in a specific direction. It seemed she was guiding it towards something, perhaps safety or even its own kind. Dr. Lena, her eyes never leaving the sight, murmured to her team, "She's not just escorting him away from danger, she's leading him somewhere. This could be a critical moment for the calf's survival." The significance of this guidance was not lost on the scientists. It was an extraordinary display of empathy and understanding from the humpback, whose actions suggested a deep-seated instinct to protect and nurture. This behavior had been documented sporadically, but witnessing such a clear and purposeful intervention was both rare and enlightening. As they followed at a distance, the research vessel tracked the pair's slow but steady progress. The calf, initially hesitant, seemed to gain confidence under the humpback's guidance, swimming more purposefully. The interaction between them was poignant, almost as if the humpback had temporarily adopted the calf, providing the reassurance it desperately needed. Could she be taking him to his mother or to other blues? Alex speculated, watching through binoculars. It's as if she knows exactly what he needs. The sun began to descend, casting golden hues over the water, and in the distance, the outline of several whales breached the horizon. The team's anticipation grew. Could it be a pod of blue whales? The possibility of a reunion added a hopeful chapter to the day's dramatic events. As the humpback and the calf continued their journey, the silhouettes in the distance became clearer. The scientists held their breath, wondering if the lost baby whale was about to find not just safety, but its family. The next few hours would tell whether this unusual act of interspecies altruism would end in a heartwarming reunion. As the humpback and calf approached the distant group, it became evident that they were indeed blue whales. The sight of the calf nearing what could be its kin filled the marine biologists with a mix of hope and scientific curiosity. The large female humpback slowed, her role as guardian nearly complete, as she nudged the baby closer to the waiting blues. Upon their approach, The blue whales seemed curious, their massive heads rising slightly above the water as they assessed the newcomer. The calf, once listless and alone, now swam with vigor toward them, its calls becoming more pronounced, a stark contrast to its earlier despair. Dr. Lena whispered, capturing the moment on camera, "This is incredible. If they accept him, it could be a significant observation about whale social structures and interspecies interactions." The blues encircled the calf, and after a tense few minutes, they seemed to welcome him. The calf, now animated and buoyant, swam alongside them, visibly comforted and supported by the presence of its own species. The scientists aboard the vessel watched in awe, the reunion unfolding before them serving as a powerful testament to the complexities of whale behavior. "Did you ever imagine we'd witness something like this?" Alex asked, his voice filled with emotion. "Seeing such a tangible example of interspecies compassion, it's going to challenge a lot of our assumptions about animal behavior." The emotional impact on the team was profound. They had started the day as observers of migration patterns, but ended it as witnesses to a saga of survival, empathy, and community within the cetacean world. The humpback's role in the calf's survival and integration would be a focal point in their discussions and reports long after they returned to dry land. As the sun set over the Pacific, casting a warm glow on the tranquil scene, the researchers continued to document the interaction. The humpback whale lingered a while, watching over the calf, before slowly turning and swimming away, her mission accomplished. Her departure was as poignant as her arrival, a silent affirmation of her crucial role in the day's events. Reflecting on the day, Dr. Lena noted, "This isn't just about biological survival. It's about understanding that these creatures have a social and emotional depth we're only beginning to grasp. This changes not just what we know, but how we think about the natural world." The implications of their discovery promised to resonate through the scientific community, provoking new questions and inspiring further study of the remarkable bonds that can form even across species lines. The story of the baby whale's rescue and the unexpected heroism of the humpback whale rippled across the globe as the marine biologists shared their footage and findings. What had begun as a routine research expedition had transformed into a viral sensation, capturing the hearts and minds of millions. News outlets, social media platforms, and scientific journals featured the breathtaking visuals and the poignant narrative, sparking widespread public and academic interest. The global reaction was immediate and profound. Conservation groups seized the moment to advocate for stronger protections for marine life, using the story as a powerful example of why preserving ocean habitats is critical. Governments and environmental organizations, motivated by the public's emotional response, began to propose and implement new policies aimed at creating and expanding marine reserves. In the scientific community, the event catalyzed a shift in understanding and approach. Researchers convened conferences and symposia to discuss the implications of the observed behaviors, considering how these insights might influence current theories about animal intelligence and empathy. "We've seen a remarkable increase in funding for marine biology studies," Dr. Lena explained during a panel discussion. "This story has not only changed public perception, but has also inspired a new generation of scientists to explore the emotional capacities of whales." The insights gleaned from the event led to broader discussions about the nature of altruism in the animal kingdom. Scientists hypothesized that such behaviors might be more common than previously thought, suggesting a complex social structure and emotional depth among marine mammals. This re-evaluation of cetacean behavior prompted calls for more humane treatment and a reconsideration of how humans interact with all wildlife. As the narrative of the rescue settled into the collective consciousness of society, it served as a poignant reminder of the interconnectedness of life on Earth. The story continued to inspire and educate, suggesting that by studying and protecting these magnificent creatures, humans might also learn something fundamental about compassion and coexistence. "The ripple effects of this discovery are just beginning," Dr. Lena mused in her latest interview. "We've seen one incredible act of kindness, but it speaks to broader truths about our world and the other beings we share it with. There are undoubtedly more stories like this waiting in the depths, ready to teach us more about nature and ultimately about ourselves. The story of altruism at sea had indeed become a legend, echoing across waters and generations, promising more discoveries and lessons in the years to come.
If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone who may find it interesting. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.